Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Cameroonians. We bring you greetings from our studio here in Al Hilal. And today we are going to have a very special edition of the program again, in which we are going to highlight a few things. And in the studio with me, I have the chairperson of Cameroonian community in Qatar and your General Assembly representative of all Cameroonians here. So, Mr. Chairperson, good afternoon and welcome to Eddie Boy Studio.
Good afternoon, Mr. Eddie Boy, and good afternoon, Mr. Zio. Good afternoon to all the Cameroonians in Qatar. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you very much, sir, for coming. It's always a pleasure having you. Mr. Xavier, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Eddie. Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon to you all amazing people of CCQ. Thank you.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Like I said, it's always a pleasure having you in Eddie Boy Studio to talk very important things that concern Cameroonians in Qatar. Today, we shall be dwelling on two very important topics. One, of course, is going to be the suspension of the treasurer of CCQ, and the next one is going to be digesting the memorandum of understanding that was arrived at between CCQ and CDQ. And I will go straight to the point with the first part, which is going to be the suspension of the treasurer. And I'm going to go with you, Mr. Chairperson. The letter was sent out there that described the event of what transpired before the suspension of the treasurer. But it was not very clear, as some Cameroonians thought. And so a lot of questions came up on that aspect. What do you have to tell Cameroonians on this fact?
What people need to understand is that suspending someone as the treasurer, it's not an easy thing, you know. Mostly for someone that has been serving the community selfless at this high level, and what happened beyond us was that actually the treasurer of a community were carrying out some activities that were not meeting our community objectives, that were antagonistic with our objective, and finally we had to take the decision we took.
Thank you very much for that brief response there, Mr. Chairperson. But still, Cameroonians thought that the letter would have specified exactly or clearly what the reason was that warranted the suspension of the treasurer. Perhaps there was something that the leadership was trying to protect. That's why they decided not to put clearly what the activities of the treasurer were.
Yeah, the truth is that the good thing is that the treasurer himself came and clear what was all about, and we are really grateful that he did that, because we did not want, because this was a very sensitive issue. Correct. Talking about the crisis and taking position about the crisis and taking position in which other way I would like people to find out through his social media, because correct, you know, our community is so young, and our objectives are about to have a very collaborative relationship with public authority. So we cannot be castigating them or insulting them or unwilling at the same time having some service from them. We cannot be in both sides at the same time. So if we need services from them, we need to be civilized and address them in a very proper way. So, and some of those activities, we know about the crisis, we know this is a very sensitive issue. We cannot just go about it just like that. And as I said, you know, in somewhere else, our treasurer was a public person. And when you are a public person, there's a certain way you carry yourself. Correct. So being a public person, even if you publish in your private public media, people are still going to find out because it's public. And as far as found out, it can be it could have been very challenging to find out that in our midst we have that type of person having those type of position that are not really matching with the community objective and vision. So we had to do that to protect, first of all, our leaders because of what he has been achieving. I don't know, you know, I cannot go, you don't know what things happening in people's lives. So we need to understand if he have changed his camp, so we can understand. And I cannot judge him based on that. So we need to protect our community, we need to protect him ourselves.
Correct. And I'm quite sure, I don't know whether the leadership thought that perhaps the account or the social media account of the treasurer was hacked. Maybe that's why there was a step in trying to put out the letter there and avoiding to clearly put the statement out there or to address the kind of activities he was carrying out. And if you look at it very well, one might not even conclude that his account was hacked. Maybe you had a discussion with him to make people understand that he is responsible for his account and his actions.
Definitely, a lot of things happen behind the scene. You know, once you know, there are things happening at leadership level, you will not just come. We are leaders of the community. We cannot just be talking of any single thing happening behind us. Otherwise, we don't have again leaders. You know, leaders don't talk anyhow. So what's happened is that behind us, when we realized that something was happening in his page, what we did, we approached him and we tried to find out what's going on. And me as talking about myself, I contacted him a few days before having this type of post on his social media, and he told me that he lost his phone. And we thought because of losing his phone, maybe someone hacked his
account or picked up the phone and it's using his Facebook account or something.
Exactly. Given that he was in Cameroon, and which part of the Cameroon, that part where we have that crisis going on. So someone will have used it and just trying to tarnish his image. You know, this is what we thought. So we reached him out, and we realized that he was not willing to respond or to disclaim whatsoever. He refused to disclaim. And he said he could not talk those type of thing. He cannot be talking about it on the group. So it's better we leave it. And we had to take our decision. And the decision was to just
give him a suspension, a temporary suspension.
To suspend him. And at the same time, we wanted to protect him, protect our community, because the crisis going on in Cameroon is not joke.
Exactly. Like you said, we cannot be on both sides at the same time.
You can't be in both sides.
Let me go to the representative of General Assembly, call him the man of the people. He's standing between the General Assembly and leadership to communicate on both sides. Mr. Xavier, the heat was too much, especially on you, as well as the rest of the leaders, but I think you got it very hard from some of the members of the General Assembly. Tell me, how were you able to cope with those messages that we were getting from the General Assembly?
Thank you so much, Mr. D, for this wonderful opportunity. And of course, it's not a joke. It was a very difficult time for all the leaders, but much more on my side, you know, when you check well at the position I'm having. The thing is that from the point of view of the General Assembly side, I believe the reaction was okay, but again, when such a decision is being taken, it's very important to deeply know or check, you know, what really pushed this, because of course nobody's getting paid here, and you cannot just wake up and sanction somebody just like that. Things must have happened. So a wise man or a wise GA could think twice that how come. So at the end of the day, Mr. Eric came, the treasurer came, and he clarifies everything. He did clarify everything, and that which we did not want to expose, which brought much more heat from our side, was now exposed
by himself.
Correct.
And
I believe that the action was very important to be taken. Considering the fact that he has been very active, I have not seen somebody very committed like that, but we needed to take it not because we were rejoicing, but just to save his life and to protect the interests of our community. And at the same time, some people also realized later on that the decision that we took, the move that we took, was a good one. And people have to understand. The lesson learned here is that when the leadership takes a particular decision, it is very important to go deep, to think out of the box, go beyond that. What could be the reasons behind this? Something must have happened which either could affect the community or affect the leaders. So we don't want to build something that tomorrow we're going to use our hands to destroy. And that's why I believe the chairman and the entire leadership took that step of suspension. Thank you.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. We are not going to speak so much on that. We will urge people to listen to the audio that the treasurer himself sent to the group. And there in that audio, what the leadership was trying to avoid was revealed, just like the General Assembly representative, Mr. Xavier, just said. So you can get that audio. It's on that platform there, and you listen to it on our WhatsApp platform and then listen to it. Mr. Chairperson, we will go to the second part of our program, which is going to be digesting the Memorandum of Understanding, which was arrived at by CCQ and CDQ. That's Cameroonian community in Qatar and the Cameroon diaspora in Qatar. So, you've before arriving at that Memorandum of Understanding, you people, your leadership, or CCQ leadership and the leadership of CDQ had a series of meetings. Please tell us something about this Memorandum of Understanding.
You know, one of the first thing people need to understand is the story behind this memo of understanding, because this was like a call from majority of the group that stating Cameroon divided. Because that divided, I don't remember that Cameroon that's somewhat divided. Because I don't want to accept that for one reason, because people saying we are divided, the same people we envy them every day. We play together, we play football together, we meet at various places together. We never had any issue. No Cameroon have been fighting each other. But what is important to know is just about two groups, major groups, that was CCQ and CDQ, willing to manage the affairs of the Cameroonian in Qatar, were finding it difficult, and the embassy were finding it difficult to deal with a specific group, because they wanted a specific group that we channel everything to them so they can be communicating. And yeah, they said we have come together with CDQ to put in place one united front where we can address to all stakeholders out.
Thank you very much for that brilliant response there. Okay, I went through the Memorandum of Understanding and I saw that a few things will be dismantled while a few will be mounted. For example, the names of both groups are going to change. What is it going to look like?
The truth is, dismantling, this is too much said, because when you look at the name, the name are just put together. When you have CDQ, you have CCQ. They are the same very thing, except that in CCQ, D has been added to represent the diaspora, so that nobody should be think how SIP maybe have been left out. So from CCQ, you are also, when you have the new name is CDCQ, so you see that you have all the two group represented.
Correct.
So about the name is not a big deal. And now about
CDCQ stands for what?
CDCQ stands for Cameroonian Diaspora Community in Qatar.
And the French version?
The French version is DCCQ, that we call Diaspora de la Communauté Camerounaise du Qatar. So basically, you are coming back to the, if you look at both population, you are going to see that at the end of the day, it's still the same people. They just try to put themselves together. So there's nobody is left afterwards.
Very good. Thank you very much, Chairperson. Mr. Xavier, you are representing the people. Do you think the people you are representing will be very satisfied with the move that CCQ has taken with CDQ?
Well, that's a very important question, and it's as well very important for us to clarify this. That's why we're here. The thing is, if we're talking about unity, and a lot of people know about what's going on, currently, so there was a need for us to come up, which means that CCQ have to compromise in the name of unity we are talking about.
Correct.
And when you check well, the decision we took is in alignment with our proposal to CDQ. So we say that we do not mind, just if have to paraphrase, to change even CCQ structure. So which means that we are ready, just in the name of the unity, to give out. That's why we have to come up with that resolution, which was not that much easy, because of course people know how we've been working, and there was a need for us to come up together so that we can accommodate. Perhaps people were still behind, considering the fact that they were from one camp or one side, and the other ones were from the other side. So what I'm trying to say here is that we should not worry, because we are one Cameroonian, or one people, I mean. So there's nothing much about the changes of the name, but what we need is that we need to get to our objectives. So if we have to accommodate this and the name has to change, tomorrow we get what we need, I think that's the most important.
That's the most important thing.
I'm calling on our General Assembly to bear with us. It wasn't a wrong move. It is a very good move for us, irrespective of the name that change. The name is still for our favor. Thank you.
Correct. Very good. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairperson. While I went through the Memorandum of Understanding, I saw again that a few, there's going to be a closure of some media outlets that we have been using for us to start using a particular one. I think the CCQ prototype or something. Tell us something about that. Is it already active? Is that link of that WhatsApp group, for example, already being shared, and are people joining from both sides?
CCQ prototype has been existing for a while. It has been put in place with our IT department because we realized that some few months back that we could not contain more than 258 Cameroonians in one platform, and our IT team tried to put in place a program that can help us to accommodate more than 1,000 people at house. So we are talking today, they have succeeded to extend it at 10,000 people. Okay. And knowing, having that opportunity, so we needed to add it in that memo of understanding that it's better if we want to accommodate Cameroon instead of having people for diverse group having their own group from one side and the other one having their own to the other side. We agree that we are going to merge all those. We are not only going to merge the name, we are also going to merge people and the group. And we agree that CCQ prototype that I've been using, we're going to be used as a platform to unite all Cameroonians in Qatar in one media platform, and including also as well Telegram we have created. So this said, I'm calling on all the people, being you from CDQ or being you from CCQ, it's over. So what you need to do is just, the link is out there, just join the new dynamic, the new united front.
Thank you very much. We will go to something still in line with the Memorandum of Understanding. I understand that you and the leader of CDQ, Mr. Mustafa Magloire, were supposed to sign this Memorandum of Understanding on the 20th of May, which was actually a Cameroon National Day. Did that happen?
Unfortunately.
And if not, what was the reason?
Unfortunately, it did not happen. As I used to call you the doyen, so my elder, we call senior man in French, doyen, the dean. So the dean of the community basically have been here for so long in Qatar and doing a lot of good things for the community. So this initiative was it was the one leading in the initiative, and I gave him the chance. We could not refuse such initiative. We have CCQ, as far as unity is concerned, as far it's about bringing Cameroon together, we are ready to accept, though we need to admit that the move was not really the right thing to do, because this initiative, unity initiative led by CDQ, have been, when they started, it was with with official invitation addressed to many groups or subgroups of Cameroonians in Qatar, but it was so weird to understand that when it was time to have to sign that memo of understanding, they could not invite people in a very formal way. So, so we realized that that's why the turnout was not really appealing, and we had to rectify it and then send now official invitation to other subgroup and other subgroup or other community, Njangi group, football group, or tribes group even, whatsoever, so they should to come together and witness.
So, Mr. President, we might think that the publicity was not really there. I mean, for people to be aware of that very important activity that was to take place on the 20th, that signing that memorandum, that's why people were not, the turnout was very low. Can we attribute that low turnout to lack of publicity? I mean, for people to understand. We know very well that most people find it difficult to get documents that are shared to read. Perhaps we needed to do more publicity.
I think that's why we are in your studio today.
Correct.
Thank you for offering us this opportunity to talk about that, to clarify people about what is in the memo, in that memo understanding. So, yes, it's among part of the things, because we did not take time. People have been rushed to have this memo understanding signed. For me, as I was telling you, for us like CCQ, whenever the unity is concerned, whenever it's about gathering camera is concerned, whatever, 24 hours, we are ready to just stand up and follow. But unfortunately, it did not place out because people need to digest the content of the memo understanding. This is what we are trying to do, to break it down for people to understand exactly what is part of it. But on the day coming ahead, as we are breaking it down right away, on the day coming ahead, people will be invited to come and witness this final signing of the memo of understanding between both parties.
So have you people chosen a new date for the signing of this document?
As of now, a new date has not been put in place, but in the coming ahead, a few days coming ahead, people will be aware and people will be invited.
Thank you very much. Mr. Xavier, once a new date is put up, you saw the outcome, I mean the turnout on the 20th. I don't think you were very satisfied with that turnout. Now, there's a plan to come up with a new date. What can you tell the people so that once a new date is chosen, they will come out massively to witness that very important moment, a moment they have been clamoring for?
I think here, Mr. ID, there are two things to be involved. There is responsibility from the leaders that will bring the initiative to make a proper planning and make sure that all the Cameroonians are aware. So whatever tools they're going to use to let the Cameroonian know about that day should be there. If there is a need to even send a video or anything that can, we have to use, like what I said, tool, so that Cameroonians will be aware that, okay, at a particular day, we're going to have this. This is a responsibility from the leadership.
Right.
The second part is, now that all these things will be put together, the GA or all the Cameroonians should receive this and be part of that day. So there are two things like what I said. The first thing is to make sure that the message goes, and the second thing is to make sure that they have received and they should be there. So what I'm trying to say is that both parties have responsibilities. From the leadership, the responsibility will be there to fix up a date and to make sure that the medias, whatever we can use,
the information reaches everyone.
The second part is, now that the leadership will take that step to publish and announce, make a proper planning, people should come.
Correct.
So what I'm trying to say here basically is that to compare with what happened last time, where people were not informed, so we should not do the same thing. We have to plan properly in such a way that people should come more, and let us have these things signed and we can move on.
Correct. Thank you very, very much. Mr. Chairperson, one of the contents of the Memorandum of Understanding that we are digesting is the invitation of Cameroonians to come and take up position, good-willing Cameroonians who are ready to serve, to come and take up positions if they really want to serve. How do you handle this? Is it like somebody is coming and then he or she has to be given a position to handle? Make us understand this clearly.
Oh, what you need to understand is that in everything there's processes. You're not going to happen that way. So there are two entities coming together to merge, and are going to put in place. We are going to put in place a way how to bring people in, because as you see, there are many. Is a volunteering something, and as I was saying, what I used to say time to time, CCQ is like. Not CCQ, sorry, the community or community should be look like a system, should be looking like a relay, a race, where when you are tired, you give to your next one, the next person to take it to another level. Not only to continue, but to take it to a higher level, so that we can go higher and make and meet our objective, among which I need to emphasize here. One of the biggest objective of CCQ is to make sure that we have the big objective is CCQ, and even the new United Front, it's to make sure that we have a diplomatic representation in Qatar. For me, whatsoever we have to do, this is the main target. So whatever we do, so we need all the forces of our community to make sure we have this happen. And this year is a very specific year, because we are lucky that Cameroon is qualified for the World Cup, and all the eyes will be turned here in Qatar, and Cameroonian lives were in Qatar. So we need to make sure that we make we make good use of this opportunity to to raise our voice, to be heard by Cameroonian authorities, to take care of so that we can have this diplomatic representation, being an embassy or a consulate. This is very important for us, and this should be emphasized. This is part of our plan as CCQ, and even the new United Front, we will keep emphasizing on it, because these are some of the value on our core objective we are portraying. We need to have this done, because Cameroon have been suffering in Qatar. I can see you are letting me go more further about this, because this is very important for us. Very essential. So calling for people, when we are calling for people, what type of people we are looking for as we are calling? We are not looking at people that are there to castigate people. We are not looking at people that come just to say whatsoever, to say insulting people. We need people which are people that are responsible, that know what is best for the community, and come and serve the community, take the community higher, instead of retrograding us back. So this is what we are looking for.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me ask you, has the CCQ or the leadership on both sides been affected? For example, CCQ has a very, if I can say, very well-structured leadership with various positions held by Cameroonians. Has this memorandum of understanding, or this peace deal coming together, has it affected your executive? Is there anybody who has been voted out because we have to come together?
The truth is that change are always difficult, they can be perceived in two different ways. Change can look like a threat, and from the other hand, change can also be welcome. But what I will advise people is to welcome the change. You understand? Change is coming. This is coming to stay with us. We need to just make sure that we put everything in place together, and to get the best we deserve. Because I can say we Cameroonians, we deserve better than what we have now. Everything will be built. Everything is built about what I say previously about making sure that we have our administration representation in Qatar, meaning having an embassy or a consulate. So this is what it's all about. No matter what we are going to say, this is where all should be tabled.
Thank you very, very much. Mr. Xavier, I understand that the steering committee of CDQ, as per the Memorandum of Understanding, was supposed to be dissolved. Do you think that has happened? Or if not, when will that be?
Well, Mr. Edzi, this is another powerful question. In the memo of understanding, it was clearly stated that this should be dissolved, but I must say that we did receive a letter a few days ago talking about a steering committee that held a meeting and proposing something else. I think it is a very wrong move, because what we have to understand here is that we did not agree, even when we went for that meeting, the creation of the steering committee. So, and we said, one of the reasons that we said was, why do we have to go for the steering committee when we can focus on some other things, either election, direct election, or we just have to unite ourselves and we wait until the end of the mandate. So, which means that I believe that the CCQ or the steering committee from CDQ does not concern CCQ. However, we clearly stated that we are not part of this. So whatever comes from the steering committee does not concern us. But what we focus on is coming together in one umbrella. I think that's where we should channel our energy.
Correct.
Than to bring back something that the other party did not accept. So we must tell the truth here. I don't know if Chairman will have to clarify this more, but as somebody who has been, I was part of that meeting, it was clearly stated.
Thank you very much. I go to Chairman Rene. Do you have something to, you should have something to say about that, because that is a very crucial aspect of what we are trying to build now. Tell us something.
Normally, I don't want to comment about the steering committee for one reason, because CCQ is not subjected to the steering committee, because the decision that came out of that meeting, that was unilateral from CDQ, was to have in place the steering committee, though all the people were agree, all the Cameroonians were okay that we should have a united front. But the decision of having in place the steering committee was unilateral from the CDQ, which I have nothing against, but we do not see, we CCQ, we do not subject ourselves to that decision, making that anything coming from there is not really welcome. And mostly, precisely because there's something people need to understand. He mentioned the letter. They mentioned the letter we received from that, I don't know, I can call organization or institution, whatsoever. We as CCQ or CDQ, we are not more concerned about that steering committee. I think it's the responsibility of CDQ to handle the steering committee they put in place. It's not our responsibility. And the funny thing is that when I was saying the hit we were receiving from the group, we received that hit, we received the hit from the group from someone that was insulting people up and there and right and left, and that person was nothing but the chairman, the chairperson of that steering committee. So this sounds like what we always call in French, le pompier pyromane, what we call in French a pyromaniac firefighter, who is laid on the fire and then come again trying to do as if it's coming to extinguish. So at the end of the day, we don't eat off that bread, so we understand what is best for Cameroonian. We agree already with CDQ that we are going to unite, and that's all. That's what matters for Cameroonian.
Very, very important. Thank you very much, gentlemen. We will go to the last part of this discussion, and that is going to be still in line with the Memorandum of Understanding, which is the signing of the documents. A lot of people are wondering how it's going to be possible that two of you will be signing documents. I mean, you and Mr. Mustafa. Explain or say something about this, Mr. Chair.
I think there's nothing really that's more difficult. There's nothing difficult about that. And people, the more important is that what I'm seeing here is about people should lay down their ego. You understand? Don't look at the fact that, oh, this guy is signing document with, they are co-signing the document. What we know how we are going to process things. I know I'm going to discuss with my with the doyen, and we are going to find the right way how to make things happen. Correct. And I know he's somebody that is very comprehensive. He knows what is at stake, so he knows what we know what we have to do, and there's nothing that's going to stop us to unite Cameroonian and to build a community we always we are dreaming for. Yeah. So this is some of the things. As again, I just want to call on all the people to support this initiative and for the United Front has come to stay and to carry on to next level.
Thank you very much. I will go back to Mr. Xavier, but I'm going to be asking you or to talk to the people you are representing. Most of them who have not been comfortable on the platform, especially on the WhatsApp platform, and in the past days with the heat that was coming from there. How do you say something to them by maybe consoling them? I don't know what you want to tell them, but just say something to them before we wrap up the program.
Thank you very much, Mr. Eddie. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, of course, for the past few days, we really experienced something very, very strange,
challenging,
challenging as well, and stressful, I must say, in the group for just one person that thought he is above the community. Ladies and gentlemen, listen. Sometimes I will say that in order for us to move forward or to grow in life, we need such people. So don't be afraid or angry when somebody comes to attack you or even take the wrong side of you. Use those things to build up your strength and move forward. But at the same time, for that person, when you even want to even do such things, my advice is that you should be very constructive even on your way, your manner of approach. You know, of doing things. You cannot go left and right, front and back, and because of you or whatever you have, you want to destroy that which people took time even to build up together. It doesn't work that way. No wonder our AJ said last time that, can you really destroy what you have labored for? That's absolutely no.
$1 million question.
It is very easier for you to destroy what you have not worked for, because you don't know the pain, you don't know what people have gone through. And when people are saying that the leadership of CCQ are power mongers, but come on, it is very important for us to protect what we have been working so hard to get. So don't compare it like somebody who is even, we don't gain anything by the way. So ladies and gentlemen, dear valued CCQ members, amazing community, let us be focused. I appreciate you all for even the great movie people took. Thanks a lot for the maturity in the platform. At the end of the day, we keep working so hard. What we need from you is your support, your dedication. Be connected with us, and I'm sure we're going to have a very beautiful community as we all plan to have. Thank you very much, and stay connected with us. More shall become.
Thank you very, very much, Mr. Xavier. I invite the chairperson to give a concluding statement in which you can include anything we have not touched as far as the Memorandum of Understanding is concerned. In your conclusion, you could conclude that or include that.
What is important, I want our community or people or Cameroonian to know is, no, even though you don't have, you don't think like us, so we cannot be thinking the same way. So you have something to say, you should be very constructive, and something that bring value to our community, that make you, when you make some constructive contribution, people will remember you about that. But if you want to scrap everything around you, really people will not take you serious as well. So this is something we need to, this is very important for us. And I would like again to let know people there are many things that have been going around. People need to understand what CCQ is doing, what CCQ have been doing, even the new United Front coming. We will still, nothing is going to change. The value of the community will still remain the same. Our value, we will not trade our value against nothing. We will be the same. They are the same people serving you. I know all of them are Cameroonians that are going to be serving you. So there's nothing to worry about. One extra thing I would like to know, people have to know that this executive today that was led by CCQ was, we had in our second year mandate, we had to, one of our plan was to voice out to have an embassy here, and one of the action we had we put aside was to make sure that we reach out medias, and we had that opportunity. We cannot do it coming here during the last to cover the World Cup draw, and we had that opportunity to talk to them, and for they coming ahead in in days coming ahead, they are going to publish they are going to release very soon those documentaries so that people can understand what we are doing, because the objective of CCQ has been always from day one to make sure that we touch we touch our government about the situation of Cameroonian in Qatar, and very soon you people are going to know that. And that is why, if you realized in the second year of mandate, that we are making a lot of media appearance, just because it's part of our strategy, and the strategy is we are building it and it's working. And they coming ahead, we are going to have many other medias that we will be approaching to make sure that our voice ahead. We are going to use anything within our power to make sure that we have this, because the World Cup is here and all eyes are on Qatar. So we Cameroonian living in Qatar, we have to make sure that we catch the bull by the horn. So this is what I have to do. I would like to appreciate you all people for listening to this program direct from Eddie studio. You need to support him. Go to his channel and hit the subscribe button. This is what we do. We promote our community. We promote excellencies. So this is it's very important for you guys to make sure that you follow his channel. It's someone that is very talented. This is what we have in our community. We have so many of them like that. So peace upon you. You are welcome.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. I appreciate you for coming. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Cameroonians, that's how we had it from our studio today. It was another very resourceful program, and we promise to bring you more resourceful programs just like this one. In days ahead, we are going to be inviting individuals to come and promote themselves, to come and talk about themselves. People have some very important activities they carry out. They will be invited in studios here so that they talk about themselves and make the world know what they are capable of doing. God bless you all, gentlemen. It was nice having you. God bless you.
Bless you all.
Yeah.